Hey y'all, welcome to Friday's Kitchen. Welcome back if you have been here before. In today's video, we are putting a new spin on an old classic. We are making a peanut butter and jelly cream cheese pound cake. If you're interested in seeing how I made it, stay tuned. Also, while you're here, I ask that you please take a moment, look down below, press that red subscribe button, join our family, and come back for some more recipes. Here we have the ingredients for the pound cake. Up first, we have 3 cups of cake flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, 3 cups of granulated sugar, 6 eggs at room temperature, an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature, 3 sticks of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1/2 cup of all natural peanut butter. Here we have some grape jelly that I've just put in a bowl and stirred up a bit to break it down a little. We'll be using 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, and here we have some Nutter Butter cookies. We are going to start by preheating the oven to 300 degrees. At first, we're going to start by adding the cream cheese and the 3 sticks of butter to the mixer. We are going to mix these ingredients for a couple minutes, and then we're going to move on to adding the granulated sugar, and you will see that coming up shortly. Here we are slowly adding the granulated sugar to the mixture. Once I've added the sugar, I will let the mixer run for about 10 minutes. I'll shorten it for the sake of the video. It will be sped up, but I do let the sugar, once I add the sugar, I do let the mixer run for about 10 minutes, just long enough to break the sugar crystals down, and you'll be able to see the mixture turn lighter in color, and it'll be really fluffy. At this point, the mixer has been running for about 5 minutes, and I'm just turning it off to scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl just to make sure that everything gets well incorporated. Now we're going to let the mixer run for another 5 minutes, and then we will turn it off and scrape down the sides of the bowl once again. Here you can see the mixture has lightened in color, and it is a nice fluffy consistency. So we're going to turn the mixer back on, and we will begin to add our eggs one at a time. Once you add an egg, let it mix long enough to break the yolk and see it blend in with the rest of the mixture a little bit before adding another. Now that we have added all of the eggs, we're going to turn the mixer off and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl once again. Now we have turned the mixer back on, and we are adding the vanilla extract. At this point, we are going to begin to add the flour mixture to the bowl just a little at a time. Here we're going to take a moment, turn the mixer off, and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl once again. We just want to make sure that we get everything well combined. Here we are adding the peanut butter before we turn the mixer back on. Here we're turning the mixer off to scrape down the sides and bottom of the bowl just one final time. Here here we are prepping the pan for the batter. So I have some Baker's Joy and I am generously spraying my pan. Now we are going in and adding the batter. So I'm going to start by adding a layer of batter into the pan, and then once I get the entire bottom of the pan covered, I'm going to go in with some jelly, and you will see that coming up in just a moment. So here I've added about 1/3 of the batter to the pan. All right, so at this point I am going in and I'm adding little dollops of jelly on top of the cake batter. I'm trying to be careful not to get too close to the edges of the pan. So once I've added the dollops, I'm going to go in and kind of smooth it out and lightly press it into the batter underneath. When you're doing this, be careful not to add too much jelly, because when you add contents to pound cakes, they can be very finicky. You don't want your cakes to fall. You don't want it to underbake. So when you add the jelly, just be mindful not to add too much. There won't be a whole lot in the cake, but we will be topping our cake with jelly. So we'll definitely get that jelly flavor in there another way. So once I've done that, I'm going to go in and add another layer of batter on top, which you see me doing here. Once I get all of the jelly covered, I'm going to smooth out this layer, and then I'm going to go in and add more jelly the exact same way I did the first time. All right, so now that we have the second layer of jelly added, we're going to go in and add the rest of the cake batter to the pan. Remember, we have preheated the oven to 300 degrees, and we're going to start by baking for 1 hour and 30 minutes. If I find that I need more time at that point, I will add more time, but we will start at 1 hour, 30 minutes. Here we're going to give the pan a little shake, tap it a few times on the counter before putting it into the oven. So now we are going to make the peanut butter cream cheese icing. In this bowl, I have an 8-ounce package of cream cheese at room temperature, 1/2 stick of unsalted butter at room temperature, 16 ounces of powdered sugar, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 cup of all-natural peanut butter. We started by adding the butter, cream cheese, and vanilla extract to the bowl. We mixed that in a bit and then added the 16 ounces of powdered sugar. Once we have that blended in, we've added the peanut butter. Now that everything has been added and mixed in, we're going to turn the mixer off and scrape down the sides and the bottom of the bowl. Here we've turned the mixer on once again just to make sure everything is well combined. Now that it is, we're going to take the icing, place it in a piping bag, and save it for later. Here's the cake after I took it out of the oven. It baked for a total of 1 hour and 40 minutes. So we're going to let it sit in the pan for 10 to 15 minutes, and then we'll come back to turn it out onto the plate. It's a little slippery. I don't have any more cake boards, so I'm having to put it on an actual plate. Okay, so here's some of the jelly seeped to the bottom of the cake. See, it got stuck on the bottom of the pan. But we're just gonna take it, stick it back on top. All right. It's not that big of a deal because the cake is going to be covered with icing and jelly anyway. So we're going to set it aside, let it cool for about an hour, and we'll be back. Here we have the peanut butter cream cheese icing that we made earlier. So we're going to start by just piping some circles on top of the cake. Now we're going to go in and pipe a border at the base of the cake. So here I have some more grape jelly that I've placed in a bowl and heated it up so it could become more loose. And so now I'm just going to go through and drizzle some all over the cake. Here I have the Nutter Butter cookies, and what I've done is cut them in half. And so now I'm going to go through and place them on the top of the cake. Here I've taken a couple Nutter Butter cookies and just crushed them, and I'm just going to go through and sprinkle them on top of the cake. All right, y'all, we have made it to the end of this video. Here we have our finished product, our peanut butter and jelly cream cheese pound cake. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything I've done, leave them down below in the comment section. I'll be sure to reply. I would like to thank you guys so much for watching. While you're here, I hope you take a moment to look down below, press that red subscribe button, join our family, and come back for some more recipes. Again, I thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.